Up, bitches? What's up? Wake up. It's the morning time. What's up, bitches? What's up? Wake up. It's the morning time.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. What is up, everybody? How are we doing today? How is everyone doing out there? Good morning, Caitlin. Welcome back. Good morning, MP. Dan back in the house. Good morning, bitches. Bukes over on X. Good morning, sir. Thank you for holding it down on X, being the only one who's real over on X and comments and says hello, shares the show. I appreciate all your support, buddy. Yeah, Keelan, every like once a week, you should just allow someone else to just try to jump this leaderboard. I got Caitlin up there at 80,000 points. MP trailing behind at 30. Bukes catching MP at 20. And then Savvy, the OG who started it all, got her first day 10K and just was like, I'm on the leaderboard. I don't care anymore. We're good. We're good. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. It's it's getting a little too much. So we're starting to think about, and by we I mean me and the voices in my head. We're starting to think about trimming it off and how much longer I'm going to last. The other day I had these little like things coming out here, so that's when it really starts to bother me when that stuff tickles my ears. So it's coming close to a cut. But what's up, everybody? How we doing? How we doing? Um, my I'll start with gratitude. Gratitude for the day is pretty simple. Oh, the shirt coming my way. Let's go. Get some swag, buddy. Um, Playing basketball with my son. Super grateful. Like that, getting that basketball hoop was a really good decision at a really good time. And he just all he wants to do is play. Asked me to go out and um I've made it a goal to say yes pretty much every time he asks the question. We do have some trouble with the sun during certain hours, let's say 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. It just is blindingly right in front of our face as we're shooting. So um, that does throw off a lot of it. But we do get these end of the day sessions between like 6 and 7:30, right before I want to pass out. So it's been fun. I've been really having fun with it. My brother was over too late last night before I needed to sleep. Oh yeah, of course, we get it. That's fine. So there you go, MP. Then just tell Soggy to go over, and that's how you catch up in points. Good morning, Dylan. What's up? Go to a barber, get it lined up. Yeah, yeah. I mean everything. It just you know every like month and a half, I think, is my kind of plan. Month and a half to 2 months. Trying to wait as long as possible. Trying to grow it out. The other thing I'm grateful for is some of you may have known this and kept this from me. And if you did, good on you. But my daughter, Bailey, finally gave me her late Father's Day gift to me. And I guess she jumped in a whatnot stream and bought the Stoic Slime spot and she actually hit. So we got the neon out of 50, the gold. She gave that to me, so she was super stoked to give that to me. It looks like it's 25 out of 50, so midpoint. Yeah, she said some of you were in there, and there was a don't tell Dom going around, so she was super excited to surprise me with that. And I thought that was really cool, super cool of her, and she got it for cheap. She said too, like a $7 spot or something like that, and she was really worried because she was like they were doing the break in alphabetical order, so she was trying to like be in there at the same time. But you know how long those that happens. I've done that before where I've been like, okay, well they're just on the R's. I'll come back. There's a ton of S's, and then I missed it. Um, and I guess right as it came up, she was the bidder, and VFriends raided in with 50, 60 people, and she got real worried that she was going to get outbid. So she told me the whole story. It was super cute. That was fun, and that was 2 days ago when she gave that to me. uh and then funny enough, yesterday, didn't see her at all, didn't talk to her. I sent one message to her on Instagram that was, and I quote, dork. That was my message. She had something on her story, and I was just like a what was it? Like a seagull ate my goldfish. And so my response to that story was just dork. And that was the interaction we had yesterday. A friend took her to Laguna Beach, which is hour and a half from my house, and she was at the beach until well past my bedtime. I think I checked on her at about 8:30, and she was still at the beach. So I'm assuming she had a really fun day. I'm hoping she wasn't partaking in her newfound uh, extracurricular activity of drinking alcohol or doing anything else. There was a conversation with my wife where she was like, "Should we be letting her stay at the beach with some person we don't really know until dark, and then driving home with this person?" And I'm like, "I don't know, honey. Like, what would you have wanted to do at her age? Like, she's 17, she'll be 18 in 2 weeks. Um, like, how would you feel?" And I already knew the answer because my wife grew up with some very strict parents, and she would have hated that. Her parents, giving her shit or, threatened punishments or anything like that. And they were already gone. Like, what's gonna happen? Like, if you start saying stuff like that. So I'm assuming all is well. I did not get woken up in the middle of the night. I do not have a bunch of text messages. My assumption is everything ended fine, which it normally does. Uh, but until that day kind of ended yesterday, I skipped over everything. Basically, got off the show yesterday, organized all my top scrum. If you want to know, this is my Stoic Slime army. Most of it top loaded. I ran out of penny sleeves, so there's a little bit that needs. But this is just like it's getting out of control. You buy into one character that many breaks, you're just going to have an army of base. Gratitude for the day. Still having the ability to coach during the third trimester. Nice. A little summer coaching action. That's good. Good for you. Keep yourself active. Um, and yeah, the baby needs that. The baby needs some active. Everybody needs to be active. It helps the body and the juices kind of flow around and burn through the calories and all that kind of stuff that I have no clue what I'm talking about. But I'm sure it's better you as a human moving around, the baby getting that little bit of movement and flow. Yeah, right. I felt weird when I said it too. um, so good for you. Um, so got the show, organized Baby Friends collection, fell way behind schedule, didn't do any advanced planning or look at my calendar whatsoever or check in with people. And I just like was like, crap, it's 7 o'clock. I gotta bounce. Left the office, and essentially no one was really there on any of my job sites. So I'm just like putzing around for about an hour, asking people when they're gonna show up. People are saying, uh So I got the previous TPS report done. I submitted it to the lady yesterday, and she emailed me right back and said we're a go. So got little job, nothing major. I did talk about that yesterday with the chat. I went through this thing where I was like, I priced it one way, and I was like, oh, it seems like a little high for what we're doing. And so then I, you know, kind of like grinded out some money out of it. I'm like, yeah, that seems fair. That's okay. And then had this thought. I'm like, well, what if I just tried to make a little bit more money on this one? So then I bumped it like a little bit up, so like right in the middle, and she accepted it. So far, we're meeting today 8:30, just to kind of go over logistics, I think. But she very well could be like, "This is high. Let's take some money off." So that's good news. You get the report done. You get the job. You get something to do. So thank you, Caitlin and Chad, for pushing me. Um, Speaking of pushing me, I reached out to MP in DMs, and I was like, "This is my phone number. I'm wondering if you be my accountability partner." He and I both have gone through, he more than I, but a daily routine of getting some sort of fitness, exercise, sweat, whatever you want to call it, in. And I admire that in him. His The only thing that stopped him was a surgery, whereas I've been stopped like many times in the time frame that I've watched his journey. Uh, he's never faltered once, except for when someone cut him open, whereas I've probably faltered like 14 times and restarted. How funny is this conversation that it just
Don't do
ties
the
in nicely
reading!
with the reading? So we might as well just skip right to that. The title of today is Pick Yourself Up Again. So you fail and you just pick yourself up again, right? Yeah, right. Damn, that was a good transition, wasn't it? These customers really need to stop coming. Just have like a closed sign on the door, like My Daily Dads, especially when they forget to bring payment. Oh, dude, isn't that the worst? I talk about that all the time with Scott, the floor guy. He's like, it's so crazy how demanding people can be of like timelines and all this other stuff, but then like knowing that they have an invoice that is, 30, 60, 90 days past due. You just live in the wrong time zone. True. I always thought it was weird that Ryan Turner set this up at 8:30 um, Eastern, because it seems like a really, like, I couldn't do this if it was 8:30 Pacific. It just would not be possible. He goes, "Well, the bank isn't open yet." I guess you're okay. It's like, neither am I. I'm watching my show. Get off. Get off my front porch. Um, but yeah, you pick yourself. You know what I wanted to do? I want to read what ChatGPT wrote because I like these things. So I've been putting these daily dad um, readings into ChatGPT every day to have it do a show notes thing, like a description over on YouTube and stuff like that. If we ever get, no, never gonna happen. But I'm gonna read this one to you. Let's see how this goes. Description. Why'd you read that part down? Every parent falls short. We lose our patience, get distracted, prioritize the wrong things, or simply have a bad day. The mistake isn't what defines us. What matters is what we do next. Today's reading is a reminder that guilt doesn't move us forward. I like that one. That one was a good line. We can't change yesterday, but we can choose differently today. At any moment, we can return to the standard we want to live up to as parents. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is getting back up every time we stumble. Yesterday is over. Today is another chance to do better. So I like that little, what do you want to call that? Synopsis of the reading. It's almost, I have to tell ChatGPT this every now and then. I ask for a short description of the reading and what we're going to talk about today. And sometimes chat likes to write more than the actual reading. And I'm like, dude, slow your roll. Yeah. Every time with this guy too, I really don't understand how someone runs a business that way. Yeah. It's I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's yeah, I don't know. It's really weird. I hear a lot more of it on my subcontractor's side than I do on my side. Like I tend to pay people, my subcontractors and bill my clients pretty quickly. So I'm known to be one of the quicker paying people, but I hear it a lot from my subs. Entitled is real in this. Yeah. Yep. I almost canceled one of my lessons because of that reason. That works. That makes sense. A little dose of wisdom I heard today and wanted to share. A man never stands as tall as when he kneels to help a child. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, that's good stuff. That's another reason why like my gratitude today was centered around Bentley and basketball. I feel, really good about the like unobvious lessons that he's kind of learning being out there and putting in some daily work. Some days he's on point and he's making shots and he's all happy. Other days he's not hitting them, he's failing, and he'll get frustrated. I'll tell him to take a break, grab some water, rest, and then, try a different angle or try a different way or remember what your coach taught you in practice or try to remember what worked for you. Um, and then he'll make a shot and he'll be super happy and then he'll go back to missing again and he'll get upset. So he's learning a lot of that fail, try again, fail, fail, fail kind of thing. Um, Also learning other random things like just being more aware of, cars in the street, the general physics of basketball of like if it hits off this side of the rim, it's, most likely going to go that way, but it could always go, it's just the randomness of the way the ball bounces is really cool. Um, Chasing after it as it like, beelines off the bottom towards one of our neighbor's nice cars. Uh, all kinds of stuff. He rolled his ankle yesterday and fell and cut his knee on the ground, and it like happened so quick that I didn't even see it, and he bounced back from it really quickly. He didn't cry. He didn't, scream and run to mom or like request a band-aid. He just kind of like sat there and was like, "Dad, I just hurt myself." And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't see it. Explain." And he kind of walked me through what happened, and I'm like, "All right." I'm like, "Well, just rest. Like, don't walk on it. 'Cause it's kind of limping around." And I'll take you inside in a minute because I'm not done sweating. I promised MP 15 minutes, and I'm gonna get this 15 minutes out. So it was fun. It was good. It was good. Where are we at? Where are we at? Okay. I read the ChatGPT thing. Always keep the shoe on the rolled ankle. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, he didn't take his shoes off. That dude loves taking his shoes off, but I want to check in with him today and see how he's doing. Today's gonna be a long day for me. I got a delivery from like 1 to 4 o'clock for that whole refrigerator debacle. Finally putting that thing to bed, hopefully. But let's get back into the reading a little bit. I think that was really good thing. Helps keep the swelling down. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Compression sock, does that work at all? I got one of those the other day. It kind of felt interesting. Felt really good after kind of hurting my ankle a little bit. I wouldn't do that for him. I don't think they make them that small, but that was good for me. We all slip up in our goals, in our parenting, lose our temper, don't connect, take deep breath, breathe, point it out, like say, hey, you fucked up, and then adjust, right? Go get back to it, start again, start fresh in a new day, start fresh in a new Monday, start fresh in a new hour. There's no right or wrong time when to restart, start over, and correct a maybe a path that you've gone on that is not aligned with what you want to do, or like we've talked about before, repairing something you may have done to either your wife, family, friends, kids, whatever. Some sort of bad conversation, some blow up, explosion, anything like that. Uh, Restart or recalibrate the program. Bailey, yep. I'm off my diet and workouts. That was my whole thing with getting in touch with MP. Um, ChatGPT thing wasn't really working for me. I probably need to look into other forms of AI because I feel like chat is just plummeting. Um, oh, and then the other thing that happened to me is I was really tired yesterday and I laid down and I took a nap. I set a timer. Somehow I slept through the timer and I totally missed an hour of gardening with my wife. And she was like, yeah, I let you sleep. And I'm like, dang it. Like I didn't actually want to sleep. I was just wanting to lay down for a minute and and then go garden with you. So that was a little bummer. And then I couldn't fall asleep at night when I finally laid down for the night. So, today's another day though, right, folks? Today is another day. Um, And then I had the question of the day in the journal is, what do you need to do to get back on track? And I am literally asking all of you to answer that question for yourselves. Think of what you may be off track on, or something that you've been putting off or procrastinating. What do you need to do to get back on track? And how can I help? How can Caitlin help? How can MP help? Yes, the biggest mistake people make is taking off their shoe as a rolled ankle happens. Ice with the shoe helps a lot. It sometimes happens when you need x-rays. It's difficult. So, okay. All right. I need to get to the park again today to get some walking and a leg workout in and leg work in. Yeah, you do. Gotta get back to that running. Gotta get back to that run, dude. I know you miss it. Sweet. Yeah, again, today's gonna be a long day. I think what I was thinking to do is take a break in the middle and go on a walk. Need to clean our nursery and living room ready for the baby shower Saturday. Nice. I mean, not nice all the cleaning, but yes, Caitlin needs to get that done. That's her TPS report over the week. Um, Well, good stuff, y'all. Yeah, let's help each other um in any way we can. Yes, midday walk and mental reset is key. Yeah, with the long day being today, um, and trying to get out, I gotta try to get out of whatever happens to me like after lunch. And I think a walk after lunch might be the answer. Cause I'll the plan is to grab lunch, eat it here, and then work for a couple hours in the office until this delivery comes. But I know what happens after lunch. I get it's probably just full, plus the already you have been at it for 6, 7 hours. I, um, I just kinda get into a daze, and I just wanna, just veg out. It really is. I wanna get it done today so I don't have to worry about it tomorrow or Friday. Yeah. Just get it done. Get it done. Get it done. Um, what else? Damn, where was my mind going? Oh, yeah, we got to the question. How can I help you? How can I remind you? How can one of us, like I said, partner off, help each other get this done? And then we'll go into the, um, for me, it's definitely like the working out, the food accountability. The other thing I've been falling behind on is work paperwork. So my new TPS report for the week is I got to get these. these subcontracts and these insurances, like all this stuff locked in for these two jobs, my two main jobs. I've been so focused on the remodels and getting these little TPS reports done to get new work that I'm just way behind on the my two main jobs. They're both kind of on like a, a little bit of downtime, like as far as actual work being done. Yep, that's the movie reference, buddy. Uh, as we wait for windows and doors to come in, and so that's when I really should be locking in on this stuff, but I've let it slide. I've indulged in the top Chrome, overwatching on Hulu, all that kind of stuff. So that's my thing. I got a lot going on. We all do. And then we'll drop the stoic lesson of the day. And I wanted to remind everybody, if you are interested in any of the stoicism, I do have a whole nother show that none of you know about where all I do is talk about stoicism. I'm just kidding. That's not a thing. But if any of you are curious, you can ask. I can send you screenshots of the book. It's a great book. It's very similarly written to the Daily Dad. Uh, Daily passage quote from the three or four main Stoics. A lot of them hit like when you need them, or like really like so randomly where you're like, was this written for me in this moment? Like I'm literally going through this right now. Um, Such a good book. Look at that. Look at that. Such a good book. Yeah, I love it. Um, so the Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday. I read that one. I do the journal, and then I read the Daily Dad, and I do the journal. That's kind of like my jam for the last 4 years on Stoic, and I think a year and a half on Daily Dad because it just came out. But the lesson today: the truly educated aren't quarrelsome. Those are words, guys. Those are words. It basically goes into kind of uh, how a lot of times we tend to fight and argue and get into these heated debates and conversations, and it can kind of spiral out of control to the like where you're just in it to win. The other person is in it to win, and you're literally arguing with someone you love. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a parent, maybe it's an employee, something like that. And it kind of gets to the point where like you midway through or at the end of it for sure, you're like, wait, why did that get like that? Politics, sports, fighting over something, anything, some little thing, and try to find yourself in those moments and give yourself a restart and ask the question, like, is it really gonna benefit me to like fight this, like to nail this in there and win this argument? And the answer is most likely going to be no. If you're the winner, that means the person you're talking to is the loser, and that's never a good feeling. So don't be argumentative. Don't be quarrelsome, as the book says, a word that no one has ever used. What's up, David? I'm sure David's used the word quarrelsome. Kate, bounce over. Ugh, roofer pounding on the roof today. Just talk. All right. Just talk it out, buddy. You don't just have to just don't have to hit the wall. I feel like I'm getting back to normal finally, out of the funk, back to exercising and ran my podcast. Like, yes. See? Yeah. The downtime of surgery, going to get back to once a week to the once a week lecture. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. How awesome. People, it's Wednesday. Is it Canon podcast is out. It's it's a weird one because they don't have anything to talk about because there's no new comics from VFriends, but you know, whatever. Use your definition. Um, so yeah, thanks for hanging with me. Everybody have a good morning. Don't forget a little bit of gratitude. Don't forget a little bit of exercise. Don't forget that, even if it's already 6 a.m. and you failed, tomorrow's another day. You can start again. Okay. But Try your hardest not to fail by 6 a.m. That's like, you shouldn't be doing that at all. Most of you shouldn't even be awake by that hour. But thank you, people. I'll check back in with you tomorrow, Thursday, greatest day of the week. Appreciate you all very, 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 very.
What's up, bitches? What's up? Wake up.